Psalm 6, verses 6 through 7. And as a reminder, in the Greek Old Testament, these are verses 7 through 8. The prior few verses, we've seen the psalmist expressing various reasons for his lament. Now we're going to press forward with that and see how he's responding to all this. Ekapiasa into stenagmo mu, luso kath hekastein nukta tein klinein mu, in dakrusin mu tein stromain mu brexo. And then we'll finish with it here in a minute. Well, we'll start with this first verb, which is from kopiao, and you'll see an epsilon on the front, an S here, an alpha ending. This verb means to grow weary, and the parsing is first singular aorist active indicative, so I have grown weary or something like that. And ento, and we'll come back to that syntax in a second, so in stenagmo. Now, stenagmos means groaning. He's been groaning all day. He's growing weary in my groaning. And so what's he doing? Luso. This is from luo. Now, that's not the verb that you learned in Greek 1 that's our paradigmatic verb for everything. It has an O in it. This means to wash. Notice with the sigma there, it's a first singular future active indicative. So in light of this growing weary, I will wash. And then kath hekastein nukta. That's every night. Or according to every night. And what's he going to wash? Tein klinein mu, and that's his bed. So he is drenching his bed with tears every night. And then, based on how we typically see in the Psalms, a kind of idea parallelism, we have this is taken a little bit further in dakrusin. We'll start with the verb here, though. Brecho here is, notice with the C, the square stops there. This is a first singular future active indicative. This is to drench or to further wet in some way. And then in dakrusin, dakrus here is your tear. And so this is going to be the plural form here with the S-I-N ending. So his tears, tein stromnain here. And so stromnain, a little bit difficult to pronounce. This is the bed covering. So like his comforter or something like that. And so you notice the parallelism there. And in fact, it's brought out by the syntax. So we have into here, we got an N here, and then we have that accusative, tein klinein and tein stromnain there. So he will drench his bed covering in tears. Let's press on then. Eterakhthe apathumu ha ophthalmos mu, epaliothein in pasintois ekthrois mu. We've seen this verb before. This is from tarasso, and with the theta, eta ending and epsilon on the front end, there is a spelling change here. This is going to be a third singular aorist passive indicative. Tarasso means to be troubled, to be in some sort of disarray. It's kind of interesting. I looked at the Hebrew here, and that Hebrew actually means to grow dim. And as we see, the subject here is ha-ophthalmos. We'll come back to the thumos here. So you can see how the Hebrew is taking it as my eye is growing dim. The translator here instead is saying my eye is troubled, and he's troubled from thumos here. That's from the wrath. Now, the question is are his eyes growing dim, or is his eye being troubled because of other people's wrath or his own anger in response to a situation? It's a bit ambiguous here, but either way, the result is his eyes are growing dim or being troubled. They're weary, and if you've grown old enough, you realize a lot of times you can see how you feel in your eyes when you wake up in the morning. Lastly, epaliothein. This is from paliao, and this is a first singular aorist passive indicative. It means to grow old because paleos is the word for being old. You see the theta, eta, nu. So I have grown old, and then in all tois, or because of all, tois ekthrois, this is enemy. So he's growing old in all of his dealings with my enemies. And so you see there's a physical, there's an emotional response here to all the trouble he's going through here in the psalm. And so it's quite interesting how the Greek translator brings out some of this. So this is Psalm 6, 6 through 7.